Welcome to this week's product webinar hosted by Vendasta. I hope you all had a fabulous Labor Day weekend. My name is Amy and I'll be one of your hosts for today. We have some very exciting news that you all likely already know about. We've released a new marketplace product. Remember that Marketplace is your single source of truth for all products that Vendasta offers. And each product is a new revenue stream for your agency. And remember, access to Marketplace lives right in Partner Center. If this doesn't look familiar to you, please let me know or please contact your Partner Success Manager. We get a lot of questions about, how do I access or see Marketplace products? Is there an addendum or a separate contract I have to sign? Nope, not at all. It's right there within Partner Center. Like I said, every Marketplace product is an avenue for additional revenue. And this week's release, Burbio for event promotion, is no exception. As usual, we'll have a live Q&A at the end of the session. So if you think of any questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box and they will be answered shortly. All right, so today's webinar is all about Burbio for event promotion. That's the product, but who is the company? I want all of you on the line to learn a little bit more about Burbio. And to do that, I have with me on the line Julie, who is the brains behind Burbio. Julie, thank you for hosting the session with me. The Vendasta team is so excited to be offering Burbio. Tell us a bit about yourself and about Burbio.
Well, first, Amy, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. We are very excited about Burbio and what we have to offer with Vendasta now. And just a little bit about me and about Burbio. I'm co-founder of Burbio, and we created Burbio because we were just having a horrible time finding out what was going on in our local community, and thought that there was an opportunity for a platform that would really let everybody know what was going on. And essentially, we wanted to become the answer to when. Just like, Facebook and LinkedIn are kind of the answers to who, and you got lots of things for where. There was really nothing out there that was all about when, and that's what we wanted Burbio to be. And digitally speaking, it's interesting. The events are one of the things that are, most difficult out there to find out about. And that's really what Burbio is all about. So it's a calendar platform for businesses to get their events everywhere. And we do that by making sure that they're discoverable in search, and that they can be on voice, Amazon Alexa, which is one of the newest platforms out there. And we do it in a really easy way by taking advantage of existing calendar feeds that are out there to make it really easy for businesses to run their business and not worry so much about spending a lot of time on the marketing efforts behind it.
That's perfect, Julie. Thank you for that introduction. Now, I want to get right into the product, right into the details of it. But first, I want to show you all a quick, but hopefully very informative video. So take a look at this.
Meet Sarah and Jim. They run Sarzana, a great restaurant with weekly specials, wine tastings, and other events. But they're stuck. They promote their business with email and Facebook, but are only reaching existing customers. Their website ranks okay in search, but the results don't display their events, which is a big part of how they get customers. Then they found Burbio. Burbio pulls in Sarzana's events from their Facebook page and optimizes them for search, so when people Google for events in the area, Sarzana's events appear in the results alongside big concerts and other ticketed events. Burbio also puts their events on Amazon Alexa, so their customers can just ask Alexa what's happening in Sarzana. And Burbio makes it easy to share their events on social media too. They were so excited about Burbio, they told Mary, who runs a sports facility, who now uses Burbio to promote camp signups. And they told Jerry, who owns a car dealership and uses Burbio to promote his big sale events. Mary simply synced events with her Google Calendar directly into Burbio, and Jerry used the WordPress calendar widget on his website. All this for a tiny amount of money a month, and they promote as many events as they want, and it only took minutes to set up, and that was it, no extra work. So now they can focus on running their businesses and making their customers happy.
Hopefully that gave you a basic understanding of what Burbio for event promotion does. And don't worry, we'll be going over it in detail. But first, Julie, tell us, why events? Why did Burbio go this route?
Well, we've found that businesses, for a lot of businesses in particular, events are really kind of under leveraged. They can play a big part in a business's, kind of strategy for getting new customers and engaging customers, but they're really under leveraged out there, and there aren't really great marketing tools to promote them. The events can, be so time consuming and take so much effort to put on a great event, but if the word doesn't get out there about it, then sometimes it's not successful. And we really think that Burbio is a great opportunity to kind of supercharge events. If you're out there marketing events right now, Burbio can basically just kind of layer on some extra tools that can really get the word out there that much more and make them that much more successful.
Wonderful. Now, walk us through this example that you have here.
So this is just a great example of a promotional opportunity, a big sale that's really important, obviously. Like I said, these kinds of events are really meant to bring in new customers, and the digital marketing efforts behind them oftentimes just aren't, don't correspond. These events can be super important, but the digital efforts are just under leveraged, and we think Burbio is a great tool to really leverage it up.
Absolutely. Now, so to really go over what we just said there, what that video just said. Burbio for event promotion is a DIY listings product used by businesses who want to create and promote their events. So there's three main things that Burbio does and how it can help. So if a business owner has their events currently listed in a Google Calendar, on Facebook, or on their website, Burbio can help pull all those events into their platform, sync them. Next, business owners can create and publish events. And arguably, what is really the most exciting feature of this product is those published events will show up on Google Search, Amazon Alexa, and social media. So Burbio gets business event listings to appear on Google Search and Amazon Alexa. I can't stress how awesome that really is. Julie, tell us a bit more.
Yeah, so right now, one of the things we find with events, and that's kind of what we mean when we say under leverage, is they may, the information may be sitting on a website someplace, but for people to really find out about it, the tools in particular, where people are finding out information about things, it's all about Google these days. Google's goal, I think, in life is to basically keep everyone on Google forever, because they have every answer to everything people would ever need. So for an event to really, get the word out about events, having them display in search is really critical. And the other thing that, directionally that's getting very interesting is the whole voice market and these different devices, and the fact that they're getting used at a much higher rate, and really kind of, I think, are the future. And Burbio has a skill for Amazon Alexa, so that any event that is on Burbio can also be on Amazon Alexa. So you can just ask Alexa, hey, what's happening, and that event will come up in the event listings.
So these events also appear on mobile, right, Julie?
Absolutely. And again, search in particular is going more mobile. So mobile is just an absolute key to this. And Google has even recognized this too, and they've actually launched a new initiative specifically for searching for local events through mobile. And we were very excited to find out that we were included in kind of the initial launch of this event search that Google is doing. And it's important to note that what's going on here is really interesting. The way events have worked in the past is they don't come up in search results. And the reason for that is Google, in its infinite wisdom, kind of has to still know what it's looking at when it's looking at something. So what Burbio does is takes events and puts them into a special format called schema and markup. And it's what lets Google know, hey, this is an event. And if I'm going to, answer up a question, if somebody's searching for a question about events, I know this is an event, and it's, got all of the information kind of in the right format and the right way I can read it, so that I, as Google can deliver this source. So you can see the other people that have kind of been onto this formula for a while are all the big ticket guys. And, if you've ever searched for events in the past, that's pretty much the only thing you can ever find is stuff from, Ticketmaster and these big ticketing venues. So what's really unique and new about what Burbio is doing is we're applying all those same principles that those big ticket guys have been using for events, and we're putting it on Burbio so that your events can come up in those listings, just like the big concerts and the different things that are going through these ticketed sites. And it's very exciting because up until now, that really hasn't been an option. And Burbio is really, really happy to be able to offer that opportunity to get these local business events out there in the mix.
That is so impressive. I use Google for everything, and this new events format is something I'll definitely be using. I want to quickly highlight this little thing right here, the or do this. So this presentation will be shared out with all of you, and this is hyperlinked to a very long and complex article that Google has published on how else, besides using, one of these services, your events could show up in search. And I promise you, it is very scary to go through and try to do all of that work when you could just use Burbio. Now, Julie, Burbio also syncs events from multiple calendars?
Yes, the really neat thing about Burbio and this product in particular is you can promote as many events as you want. So you can take an entire calendar of events. If you have, 3 events a month or 10 events a day, they can all be part of this. They can all be up on Burbio, and they all get promoted through Google and through Amazon Alexa and all the different vehicles we have. So that's one of the great things. And the other thing is, in terms of ease of use, is how those events can get there. Those events on Burbio, the events get onto Burbio through many different ways. We make it very flexible. But if you have a Facebook events page, those events, there's nothing special you need to do. The calendar setup will pull in those event feeds, and you set it and forget it. If you have a Google Calendar with your events on it, same thing, we can pull that in directly. And for some websites, they might have a calendar on their website that has something called an iCal feed, which we can pull into. But in particular, anybody that has Facebook events, if you're helping clients with social media, and this is something that's you're already doing, getting those Facebook events supercharged, as we call it, is just really simple with Burbio. You set up this one calendar feed like we talked about, and we'll actually demonstrate how to do this. And very, very simply, you'll be able to then get your events all on Burbio. And again, it's unlimited in terms of the number of events that we can promote.
And as we all know, promoting events on social is a great strategy, right?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I said, as we all know, promoting events on social is a great strategy, and Burbio allows events to be pushed to social media channels, right?
Yes, absolutely. So every event on Burbio, and we'll see this as we go through, has some really easy sharing tools, just a quick little button, and you can promote the event specifics in all these different formats.
Wonderful. Now, on to the good stuff, and I can hear you all asking, but Amy, how does this product work? And that's where Julie will walk us through a live demo.
Okay, so give me 2 seconds to make sure I've got this screen sharing worked out here.
Of course.
Okay, so I'm gonna let's hope this works. Everyone see my screen?
It's working perfectly, Julie. It's all yours.
Okay, great. So I am going to go in as a user here who has activated Burbio, and we will just kind of start from the beginning in terms of setting up the product here. Hang on 1 second, I think I need to, sorry, my screen size is a little bit off. Let me just adjust this so we can see the whole thing on here. There we go. Okay, so my products. So I'll just start by saying that Burbio is offered as either a monthly or an annual product. I've got the monthly product here. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. And basically you start here with the calendars and subscriptions. And right now it's telling us that there are no group calendars yet, so we need to create one. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And all we need to do is simply name our group. And the business we called this was Joe's Wine Shop. So we'll go ahead and we'll just say Joe's Wine Shop Wine Tastings. All right, and we will go next. You can plop the website in here. All right, address information, city, state, zip, all that normal stuff. I'm just gonna, for purposes of speeding this up, I'm not gonna put all that in. And then So that's the basic setup. And now this is where you kind of have a choice. You can do what we talked about before by importing with the feed or entering events manually. If we do this import with the feed, this is where you would put in your Facebook page or your Google Calendar URL or an iCal feed from a calendar on your website. So very simple, you'd put that in there. And then, but for purposes of this, I'm just going to go ahead and show you if you need to do the manual events entry, how simple that is. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. So the first thing it's going to do is take you to your basic calendar page. And if you had those events on a feed, those events would show up automatically right here. We'd be done. In this case, though, I'm just going to show you how easy it is if you want to enter events, how simple that is. So we're going to have a Chardonnay tasting on September 15th at, whoops. Sorry, a little overactive mouse here. At 7:30. And location is our wine shop. And you can put anything you want in the description and you save the event. And there it is. So this is where those social sharing buttons are. So at this point, you can click this and share the event. This event is already on Amazon Alexa, and this tells a little bit about how you would be able to listen to the Ask Alexa and get that information. And now these events are already set to go, structured and ready to go on Google search as well. So that's just, nice to know. The one thing I will point out as well is the Facebook events that we had talked about before. If your events are on Facebook, they are not going to show up in Google search because Facebook events aren't structured in that way we had talked about. But by simply taking them from Facebook, importing them into Burbio, now they are structured correctly, and now they can show up in those results.
So
and really,
sorry, Julie, I'm just going to say the one thing I want to point out and that I think is just so incredible is the moment that an event is created and published here, it's ready to go out into search. So there isn't an added step of, I created my event, now I got to hit publish, or now I got to go through multiple steps. It's really easy. You just make the event and Burbio does the rest. Is that right, Julie?
That's exactly right. Like I said, if you've got one of those, Facebook events pages or Google calendars or things like that, once you put that URL in here, it updates automatically. So if you were to go and add 3 events on your Facebook events, again, within minutes they're on Burbio and then on Google search. So it's all kind of real-time updates and certainly event changes, things like that too. If the date changes, if the time changes, anything like that, those changes automatically flow through Burbio and flow through the changes into Google as well.
Wonderful.
So that's really it. So it's so it's that simple. Create your page. Pick your source for your events, whether you're going to enter them manually or they're going to come from one of those pre-existing sources, and then that's it.
Perfect. So let's go back to that slide presentation and talk about how to sell Burbio.
All right. Amy, did you want to take the screen back, or?
Yeah, if you could get back to me, that would be wonderful.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so that live demo is good to go. Thank you, Julie, so much for that. Let's talk about how to sell it. So you guys know this, your Vendasta partners, you're in the know, you get it. But the way businesses used to find customers is very different from how it works now. So what you see on this slide are the essential elements of the local business marketing stack. So if you're a local business, first off, do consumers or prospects or just everyday people, do they know about you? Do they know about your business? That's advertising. Can they find you? Are you listed? Are you listed correctly? Do they trust you? This lends itself to reputation and reviews. Do they like you? Social media is a great way to sort of express the personality of a business. They've gone through all those steps. Now they get to your website. Can they convert? And then will they remain loyal? Burbio for event promotion fits really nicely into that listing stack. There is a lot of work involved in organizing an event, but if enough consumers don't know what's happening, if it's not really listed anywhere on Google, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, is it even effective? So Vendasta has a number of resellable listing apps and services. And I would argue that once a business has the correct NAP data appearing online and in search, meaning that the crucial element, the crucial contact information for a business like name, address, phone number are correct, it's time to sort of think outside the box and get those events also listed in search. Now, as an agency offering this product, you will be at the cutting edge, like we mentioned, of technology, of what Google's doing, and putting your agency ahead of maybe a competitor. So did you know that almost 80% of people who attend an event first research that event online on their smartphone? That's a pretty staggering statistic. So there's clearly a huge sales opportunity here. Julie, what would you like to speak to it?
Yeah, just again, events, particularly for bringing in new customers, can be so critical. And absolutely, that is where people are looking online to find that information about those events. They're looking, they're searching, particularly on mobile, and that's really what this product is really designed to do, is to get those events front and center on mobile in searches, so that new customers and new business opportunities can make themselves available.
Perfect. Now, here's the exclusive Burbio offering through Marketplace. For either $20 per month or $200 a year, your agency can easily and effectively help businesses promote their events. So there's quite a bit of room here to make some money for you as well, as the suggested retail price is double what the wholesale is for both offerings. Now, this is a pretty, I would say, modest suggestion. You guys know your customers best. Depending on the vertical, you could charge more or less. I personally have a lot of experience in the automotive industry, and I know that, there's a lot of there. They have huge budgets. You could probably price this, considerably higher than maybe, a local florist or something. And if you're familiar with Vendasta's platform and core products, which I hope you all are, you know that this bundles very nicely with our listings products, which I briefly went over, and of course, our social marketing product. And again, if your agency is at all involved in helping businesses with their events, if you're even thinking about it, create a package and bundle your own offerings with Burbio for the ultimate service. So what we see really effective for a lot of our partners, you guys on the line, is to take whatever you're currently selling and add, Burbio to it, combine it in different ways to sort of go to your clients or your prospects with a holistic offering. All right, it's time for questions. I don't see a whole lot coming through, so I'm going to go on a very quick mute here with Julie while you, type in your questions, and we'll get to as many as we can. We'll be right back in just a minute. All right, we've got some coming in. Julie, are you ready to answer some questions?
Yes. Sorry, I muted myself for too long.
Oh, that's okay. So a couple of sort of easy housekeeping type questions. What are the country and language parameters for Burbio for event promotion?
So Burbio, language-wise, is English only at this point. And it's really primarily US based right now. So it's English in the US.
Perfect. All right, so next question. Is Burbio strictly for physical events and not virtual events?
No, actually, any event can be on Burbio. And the nice thing about it is just that, is however you describe the event, however you put it through, in that, when you create that calendar, is completely up to you, and it can definitely come up in search results. It will, the way Google search works. They do, if someone's searching for an event near me, it needs a location. So even though it's virtual, if it applies really to one specific area, it does need a location for it to have some relevance.
Wonderful. Here's an interesting question. It's sort of industry specific. Would a restaurant special be considered an event? So let's say Monday is half price, bottles of wine. Would those be an event that's appropriate? Oh, sorry, Julie.
No, I was just going to say absolutely. That's the great kind of thing that that Burbio can be used for. So for restaurants, whether it's it's a special Mother's Day brunch, or whether it's just special entertainment that's being offered, or a happy hour special certain nights of the week, all of those things make great events, and are things that folks in local communities do want to know about. Like the example we used, was for wine tastings. The other type of thing is, it's not specifically an event, but it's just signups and registrations. So for, sports facilities and places where they do kind of, series of classes, but the signups are during one particular week. Getting that out there is critical, because that's the key week that you need to let people know, once they're signed up, they're going to go to the class, but getting them to know about that first sign up window is critical. Even things like, local markets, and grocers, any special, sales and things that they're doing there are fair game. Obviously, entertainment related things make a lot of sense as well. So absolutely, sales, promotions, those kinds of things, anything that's got kind of a when, anything that's got a specific time window makes sense.
Wonderful. Okay, so there's a ton more questions coming in. I love this. Thank you. Please keep them coming. Kind of putting you on the spot, Julie, but the question I'm curious about as well, is there a way to take all those calendar events that, we're importing or sort of syncing on the Burbio platform onto a small business website?
Yes, we have a feature that any calendar on Burbio, we offer basically what's called an iCal feed for it, so that it can be exported out as well. So that absolutely can populate a website, so that so it's basically, you enter it once and it's on Burbio, it's on your website, it's on Facebook, and it's everywhere. So yes, that's a real simple thing. And what we will go ahead and do, Amy, is I'll add that as another FAQ in the marketing materials on the Vendasta
product. Wonderful.
And we'll show people how to do that.
That would be wonderful. Now, I think this is a related question. So if you add your Facebook events feed, will events created in Burbio now show up in your Facebook events?
So essentially there needs to be kind of one starting point for where the events are. So the events need to be in Facebook to start with. And that can get pulled into Burbio, but not the other way around.
Gotcha. Now, is there any reporting on, event results?
Yes. So right now, we're kind of doing custom reports on request for clients. We do plan to have a dashboard developed with kind of the key metrics before too long. But for right now, it would be a report generated that we would just send out to clients on a regular basis, or as requested.
Wonderful. So to clarify that question, reporting, yes, it will take a bit of work on our end to do. So if you'd like to purchase this product and have reporting, just let your partner success manager know, and we'll make sure that that's part of what you purchase. So I have a question here about, can we see what the event will look like on Google search? There's actually quite a few slides where I did perform a search and it came up. So I'll make sure to reshare that. And of course, you guys will all have this presentation, this recording, as soon as it's up. So within 24 hours, and it'll definitely be there. I think just a few more. Do we have any stats on Google event usage? Is it heavily used at this time by searchers? Now, the little that I do know is that this feature came out on May 10th. That's right. Right, Julie?
Correct.
And I can definitely look into that and find some stats on it. But Julie, would you happen to know? I can only imagine that it's being, very heavily used.
Yeah, I don't have exact numbers, except that the trend information basically says that certainly that event search, local event search, is definitely more mobile than anything else. And I think I want to say I remember hearing a statistic at one point that that maybe I think it was about 40% of local event search, or sorry, 40% of search is related to local searches. About 40% of them are related to events, and within local event search, I think about 80% of it is mobile.
Gotcha. So a few more, just these last ones here about, again, vertical specific. So what about, meetup groups? Would this product help give them additional exposure or leverage?
Absolutely. So meetup groups also have an iCal feed. So all of those meetup events, again, could be just put in on one of those little URLs and fed directly into Burbio. It would update automatically, and those would absolutely come up in search as well and be formatted and structured so that they would, so that they would be promoted more through Google search as well.
And how about realtor open houses?
That's a fantastic category. And we actually have realtors using Amazon Alexa right now, getting some really interesting results from that. And absolutely, getting those open houses up on Google search, it's a great category and a great opportunity.
Perfect. Julie, you're a pro. You answered all of the questions.
Great.
Okay, so next steps. You're on this webinar, you like what you hear, you're interested in Burbio, what do you do next? Go into Marketplace and enable Burbio. Remember, enabling doesn't cost you anything. It just allows you to peruse the information on the product, add it to some packages, take a look at campaigns. And I got ahead of myself. So after you enable it, build a package or, just keep it as a standalone product and put it in your store. Again, the store is your sort of public facing offering. Something that we have that's fairly new that I hope you all know about is you can embed your store on your website. So you can easily, let your prospects and current clients know what you offer and update it. And finally, if you have any questions at all, contact your partner's success manager. They've been completely briefed on everything Burbio. They can answer any of your questions. And of course, there's a lot of FAQs right in the product within Marketplace. Julie, thank you so much for being with us. It was a pleasure having you on, and I'm sure our partners really appreciate all of the insight.
Oh, pleasure was all mine, Amy. Thank you.
And finally, I'm Amy. I love to hear from you guys. If any feedback on Marketplace, on Burbio, questions, you don't know who to talk to, who to ask, please reach out to me. And I can't wait to chat with you guys again next week. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.